The silence was the first thing. No wind, no sound, no movement, just complete, total silence. Marcus Cole opened his eyes slowly. His head hurt, his body hurt, everything hurt. He tried to move, but his arms felt like heavy stones. He pushed himself up from the cold ground and looked around. He wished he had not looked. Bodies everywhere, human bodies, his crew, his team, his friends, all of them lying on the dark ground of an alien planet. Their suits were broken, their faces were still. They were gone, all of them, gone. Marcus sat there for a long moment. He could not speak, he could not think, he just stared. Then a small beeping sound pulled him back. He looked down at his wrist display. The oxygen counter was blinking red. 3 hours remaining. He stood up slowly and looked around the crash site. The ship was destroyed. It was not a landing. It was a fall, a crash. Something had hit them from above and sent them down hard into this planet's surface. He remembered the alarm. He remembered the screaming. Then nothing. Now this. Marcus walked through the wreckage. He checked every body. He said every name quietly. Torres, dead. Kim, dead. Reyes, dead. Lieutenant Park, dead. 7 crew members, 7 friends, all dead. He was alone. He said it out loud just to hear it. I am the last human on this planet. The words felt wrong in his mouth, heavy, like swallowing rocks. He found a broken metal rod near the ship engine. He picked it up. It was the only weapon he had now. His gun was somewhere in the burning wreckage, and he could not reach it. The metal rod would have to be enough. He tried the radio next. He pressed every button. He turned every dial. Nothing, just static. The signal tower on the ship was gone, completely destroyed. No way to call for help, no way to tell anyone where he was. He sat down against a broken piece of the ship and looked up at the sky. The planet's sky was dark purple. 2 moons hung low above the mountains. The air outside his suit was toxic. He could not breathe it. He could not survive without his suit. And his suit had 3 hours of oxygen left. He did the math. Nobody knew where he was. Nobody was coming. His radio was broken. His ship was gone. His crew was dead. His oxygen would run out in 3 hours. He was going to die on this planet. He accepted that. He let the feeling sit in his chest for a moment, cold and quiet. Then he heard something, a sound, low and soft, coming from the dark fog at the edge of the crash site. He stood up fast. His hands tightened around the metal rod. He stared into the fog. Nothing. He waited. There it was again, closer this time, something moving, something walking, something that was not small. Marcus raised the metal rod. His heart was beating fast. His breathing was loud inside his helmet. The fog moved, shifted, like something big was pushing through it. He stepped back. His boot hit a piece of broken metal, and the sound rang out sharp and loud. Everything went still. No movement, no sound, nothing. Marcus held his breath. Then the fog parted, and something stepped out, tall, very tall, thin and graceful like a shadow with shape, blue skin that seemed to glow faintly in the dark, 2 large silver eyes that caught the moonlight and reflected it back like mirrors. No weapon in her hands, no armor on her body. She simply stood there and looked at him. Marcus pointed the metal rod at her. She did not move. She did not blink. She just looked at him calmly like he was a small, frightened animal. Then she spoke. Her voice was low and clear and perfect. I know you are dying, human. She paused. I am not here to kill you. Marcus stared at her, his rod still raised, his hands still shaking. The fog closed behind her, and Marcus Cole, the last human alive on that planet, had absolutely no idea what to do next. Marcus did not lower the rod. He kept it pointed at her even though his arms were getting tired, even though she was twice his height and had not moved 1 single centimeter, even though something in her silver eyes told him she was not afraid of him at all. She just stood there, watching him, waiting. Who are you? Marcus said. His voice came out rough and dry. She tilted her head slightly, like the question was interesting to her. My name is not important right now, she said. What is important is that you have 2 hours and 47 minutes of oxygen remaining, and if you stay here, you will die before sunrise." Marcus blinked. "How do you know how much oxygen I have?" "Because I have been watching you," she said simply. Something cold moved through Marcus that had nothing to do with the planet's temperature. "Watching me," he repeated slowly. "Yes." "For how long?" She paused. 3 days. 3 days. He had only been conscious for 20 minutes, which meant she had been watching him while he was unconscious, while his crew was dying, while everything was falling apart. She had been there, watching, and she had not helped. "You watched my crew die," Marcus said. His voice went very quiet. Something moved across her face. It was not guilt exactly, but it was close to something. "I could not help them," she said. "Their injuries were too severe from the moment of impact. There was nothing to be done. But you," she paused again, "you were different. You held on." Marcus lowered the rod slightly, not because he trusted her, but because his arm was shaking badly now. "You said you know I'm dying," he said. "You said you're not here to kill me. So what do you want?" She reached slowly into a small case on her side, very slowly, like she understood that fast movements would be a bad idea. She pulled out a small silver device, round, about the size of his fist. She held it out toward him. "This connects to your suit," she said. "It will add 12 hours of oxygen." Marcus stared at it. He did not move. "Why?" he said. "Because you need it." "That is not a reason," he said. "That is just a fact. Why do you care if I need it?" She looked at him for a long moment. "Sergeant Marcus Cole," she said. Marcus froze. She said his name, his rank, his full name, perfectly, clearly, without hesitation. "Last surviving member of Earth Exploration Team 7, she continued. "Age 32, 7 years in the exploration program. 2 commendations for bravery, 1 for saving a crew member on the Kepler mission 3 years ago." The rod fell to his side. "How?" Marcus whispered. "I told you," she said quietly. "I have been watching, not just for 3 days, for much longer than that." Marcus's mind was moving fast now, faster than it had since he woke up. She knew his name, his history, his mission. She had been observing them, studying them, and she had a device that could save his life. "My crew," he said suddenly. "Did you know this was going to happen? Did you know we were going to crash?" Her expression changed again, just slightly. "Your crew did not die in an accident," she said. The words landed like something physical. "What?" Marcus said. "Someone planned this," she said. "Someone who knew exactly where you were going and exactly what you were carrying. Someone who did not want any of you to reach this planet alive." The fog was thicker now. The 2 moons were higher in the sky. Everything was very quiet. "Who?" Marcus said. She held out the oxygen device again. "Take this first," she said, "then follow me, and I will show you everything." Marcus looked at the device. He looked at her silver eyes. He looked at the broken ship behind him and the bodies of his crew lying still on the dark ground. He had no oxygen, no radio, no ship, no gun. He had a broken metal rod and an alien who knew his name and claimed his crew was murdered. He reached out and took the device. She attached it to his suit. Her movements were quick and precise. The display on his wrist jumped from red to green. 12 hours. She turned and walked into the fog. She did not look back. "Follow me," she said, "or stay here and die. Your choice." Marcus looked at his crew one last time. "I will find out what happened to you," he said quietly. "I promise." Then he followed her into the dark. She moved fast through the dark. Marcus had to push himself hard just to keep up. His body was still weak, his legs were heavy, but he kept his eyes on the faint blue glow of her skin ahead of him, and he kept moving. They walked for 20 minutes through thick fog and sharp black rocks. The ground was uneven and strange. Sometimes it glowed faintly under his boots, like the planet itself was alive somehow. Then she stopped. She placed her hand flat against a smooth section of rock on the side of a large cliff. The rock hummed. Then a section of it slid open silently. Inside was light, warm and steady. Marcus stepped in carefully, one hand still gripping his metal rod. The space inside was large and clean. Technology everywhere, but nothing he fully recognized. Screens on the walls showing maps and star charts and readings he could not understand. Then he saw something that stopped him completely. A screen on the far wall, filled with photos. Human photos, photos of his crew, photos of him, photos taken from a distance over many months, mission reports, personnel files, communication logs between Earth Command and someone he did not recognize. He walked to the screen slowly. "You were spying on us," he said. His voice was flat and cold. "Observing," she said. "There is a difference." "There really is not," Marcus said. He turned to face her. "How long has this been going on? How long have you been watching humans?" "Long enough to know that your mission was not what you were told it was," she said. She walked to one of the screens and pulled up a file. She turned it toward him. He read it. Then he read it again. Then he stepped back because his legs went weak. The file was a mission report, his mission. But it was not the version he had been given. In his version, they were on a scientific survey, mapping the planet, collecting geological samples, peaceful exploration. This version was different. In this version, the ship was carrying something hidden in a sealed compartment in the lower deck, a biological agent, a weapon, something designed to release slowly into the atmosphere of a planet and make it uninhabitable, make it unable to support certain types of life, alien life, the kind of life that lived on this planet. "No," Marcus said. "No, that is not. We didn't know." "I know you did not know," she said quietly. "None of your crew knew. That is the point. They needed people on that ship who were genuinely innocent, because if anything went wrong, they could say it was just a survey mission gone bad, an accident, no one responsible." Marcus put his hand against the wall to steady himself. "My crew," he said slowly, "they were killed because the weapon released early," she said. "There was a malfunction. The agent began spreading before the ship left the atmosphere. Your people in command realized the mission was compromised, so they destroyed the ship remotely. No witnesses, no survivors, no evidence." The room was very quiet. "Except me," Marcus said. "Except you," she confirmed. "You were in an exterior equipment bay when the order came. The explosion did not reach you. You were thrown clear." Marcus thought about Torres, about Kim, about Reyes, about Park, about all of them. Good people, honest people, people who signed up to explore the universe because they believed in something. Used, all of them, used and then erased. He felt sick. He felt something else too, something hot and sharp underneath the sickness. "Why are you showing me this?" he said. "Why did you save me, after what my government tried to do to your planet?" She looked at him carefully. "Because you are not your government," she said. "I watched you for months, Marcus Cole. I watched how you treated your crew, how you made decisions, the kind of person you are. You did not know, and that matters." Something tightened in Marcus's chest. Before he could respond, a loud alarm filled the room. Red light flooded every screen. She moved to the main panel fast. "What is that?" Marcus said. Her face was serious now, more serious than before. "A ship," she said, "entering the planet's atmosphere, military class, human military." Marcus felt cold again. "They are coming back," he said. "Yes," she said, "and this time they will not leave until they are certain there are no survivors." She looked at him. "They are coming for you." She was already moving before Marcus finished processing the words. "We have to go," she said. "Now." "Go where?" Marcus said. "Away from here, deep into the restricted zone. They will not follow easily." "Why not?" "Because things live there," she said. "Things that even they will be careful about." That was not exactly comforting, but Marcus moved anyway. She grabbed a small bag from the wall, packed it with 4 items he did not recognize. Then she closed the hidden door behind them, and they were back in the dark fog. This time, she moved even faster. Marcus pushed his legs hard. His boots hit the uneven ground again and again. His breathing was loud inside his helmet. Above them, through the purple sky, he could see the light of the descending ship, bright and steady, getting lower. "How did they find this location?" Marcus asked while running. "They may have tracked your suit signal," she said, "or they have better scanning technology than I expected." Either way, it did not matter now. They ran. For 15 minutes they ran through the dark rocks and thick fog until they reached a place where the ground sloped sharply downward into a deep, wide valley. At the bottom, Marcus could see strange, tall structures that glowed softly, like old ruins, but still alive somehow. She led him down into the valley and into the shadow of the largest structure. They stopped. They pressed against the stone wall and caught their breath. Above on the ridge, Marcus could see lights, helmet lights, moving, searching, 4 of them. 4 soldiers, he whispered. "Yes," she said very quietly. Marcus looked at her. "They are not here to investigate. They are not here to ask questions. They are here to clean up." "Yes." "Which means to them, I am not a person right now. I am a problem." "Yes." He let that sit for a moment. The people who sent him on this mission, the people he served for 7 years, the people who gave him medals and called him brave, they had sent 4 armed soldiers to a dead planet to make sure he did not make it home. He was not a sergeant to them anymore. He was a loose end. "Tell me something," he whispered. She looked at him. "Why didn't you just let me die when I first woke up?" he said. "It would have been so much simpler for you. No risk, no trouble. I would have been gone in 3 hours and your secret base would still be safe." She was quiet for a moment. The soldier lights above moved along the ridge, scanning. "Because watching someone die when you can prevent it is a choice," she finally said, "and I did not want to make that choice." Marcus looked at her for a moment. "Not all humans are the same," he said quietly. Not really to her, more to himself. "No," she said. "They are not. I learned that watching you." One of the soldiers above stopped moving. His light was pointing down into the valley now, sweeping slowly across the ruins. Marcus and she pressed flatter against the wall. The light passed 2 meters from their feet, stopped, moved back, then continued on. Marcus let out a breath. She reached into her bag and pulled out one of the small devices. She attached it to the stone wall above them and pressed a button. The device blinked once, then went dark. "Signal mask," she whispered. "It will confuse their scanners for a while." "How long?" "Maybe 2 hours." Marcus looked at the 4 lights above, moving, searching, patient. "They are not going to leave," he said. "No," she agreed. She sat down against the wall and looked at his injuries for the first time. There was blood on his arm and a bad cut above his left eye that had dried dark. Without asking, she opened her bag and took out something that looked like a flat leaf. She pressed it gently against his arm. It was cool, and immediately the pain dropped. Marcus watched her do this and did not speak for a moment. Then he said quietly, "Thank you." She nodded once. Above them, the soldier lights kept moving, and somewhere up in the dark purple sky, the military ship was hovering, waiting. The signal mask would buy them 2 hours, but 2 hours on a planet with 4 armed soldiers hunting him was not a long time. Not long at all. They sat in the shadow of the old stone structure and waited. The soldier lights moved slowly above on the ridge, back and forth, patient and methodical. These were trained men. They were not going to give up quickly. Marcus kept his eyes on the lights and his voice very low. "Talk to me," he said. "Tell me something, anything. It keeps me focused." She looked at him for a moment, then she spoke. "My name is Vale." It was the first time she had given him her name. Marcus nodded slowly. "Marcus." "I know," she said, and something almost like a small smile moved at the edge of her mouth. "What were you before all this?" he asked. "Before the watching and the hidden bases and the signal masks?" "A scientist," she said. "I studied biological systems, how living things survive, how they adapt, how they die." And now? Now I study humans, she said, because humans came to this planet and my leaders did not want to believe they were dangerous. And I did not fully agree with my leaders. Marcus looked at her. Your leaders. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said something he did not expect. My people almost destroyed themselves, she said, not because of humans. Long before humans arrived, our leaders decided that some of our population were less useful than others. They experimented on them. They removed them from certain places. They controlled everything. What was said, what was known, what was allowed. She paused. It was done quietly, she continued, the way these things always are, with good language and official documents, and the assurance that it was all for the greater good. Marcus said nothing. He just listened. Many of my people died, she said, because the ones in power decided their lives were worth less. It took a very long time before anyone stopped it, and even now the ones responsible never truly answered for what they did. The soldier lights above made another slow pass. Your leaders tried to do the same thing to my planet, Vale said. With that biological weapon, kill the population slowly, make it look natural, move in afterward. She looked at Marcus directly. Your leaders and my old leaders, she said quietly. Same kind of thinking, same kind of evil, different faces. Marcus felt the truth of that land heavily in his chest. I'm sorry, he said, for what they tried to do, for what nearly happened to your world. You did not do it, she said. My people did. Some of your people, she said firmly, not you. The difference matters. It always matters. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small recording chip. This contains everything, she said. The files, the mission orders, the communication between your command and the people who authorized the weapon, the proof that your crew was killed deliberately. Everything. She held it out to him. If you survive, she said, will you tell the truth? Will you make sure this reaches people who cannot be silenced? Marcus took the chip carefully. He held it like it was something fragile. If we survive, he said. She looked at him. We, she said. Yes, Marcus said simply. You are not staying on this planet alone after they know about your base. That is not happening. Vale looked at him for a long time. Something moved in her silver eyes that he could not quite name. Then the signal mask on the wall above them let out a single quiet beep. 1 hour remaining. And directly above them on the ridge, one of the soldier lights stopped moving completely. Then it pointed straight down into the valley, straight at them. They found us, Marcus said. Yes, Vale said. She stood up. Then we do not hide anymore, she said. 4 lights were coming down into the valley now, fast and focused, no more slow searching sweeps. They had a target, and they were moving. Marcus pressed his back against the stone and thought hard and fast. 4 soldiers, he said quietly, armed, trained, fresh. We are injured, low on supplies, and I have a metal rod. Yes, Vale said. Running will not work. The valley has one exit and they are coming through it. Yes. So we do not run. He looked at the ruins around them, the tall old structures with their soft glow, the strange layout of the collapsed walls and the open spaces between them. He looked at Vale's bag. That signal mask device, he said. When it goes off, what exactly does it do to their scanners? It creates a false signal, she said. Makes their equipment show a reading in a different location. How strong is the signal? Strong enough to confuse for a few minutes. That is enough, Marcus said. He took the device from the wall above them quickly and looked at the ruins. He mapped it in his head, the way he had mapped every difficult situation in 7 years of exploration. The narrow passage between the 2 largest structures, the collapsed wall section that created a natural funnel, the small raised platform 20 meters behind them. I need you on that platform, he said to Vale. High ground, you can see the whole space from there. And you, she said. I am going to the passage, he said. She looked at the passage and immediately understood. If they funnel through there, they cannot come all at once. 1 or 2 at a time, Marcus said, and they will not be expecting a hand-to-hand fight. They came to shoot a man with no weapon and an oxygen problem. They are not prepared for someone who knows this space. He looked at her. Ready. She took 2 of her remaining devices from the bag and held them ready. Then she moved quickly and silently to the platform. Marcus moved to the passage entrance and placed the signal mask device against the far wall across the open space. He set the timer on it for 60 seconds. Then he pressed himself into the shadows of the passage and waited. The soldiers came into the ruins with their lights sweeping. 40 seconds. They spread out across the open space, moving carefully, checking each shadow. 20 seconds. The signal mask fired. All 4 soldiers turned immediately toward the false reading, fast and instinctive. Their weapons came up. Marcus moved. He came out of the passage low and fast. He hit the nearest soldier hard from behind before the man had any chance to react. They went down together. Marcus's metal rod struck once, clean and firm. The soldier went still. The second soldier was turning when Vale threw her device from the platform. It hit the ground between him and his partner and released a sharp pulse of light. Both soldiers stumbled, hands going to their helmets. Vale dropped from the platform and moved with terrifying precision. She was fast in a way that was not quite human, fluid and exact. 2 strikes and 2 soldiers were down. That left 1. The 4th soldier had not been near the pulse. He had his weapon up and pointed at Marcus. Marcus froze. The soldier's finger moved to the trigger. Then Vale's hand caught the weapon barrel from the side and redirected it upward. The shot went into the empty air. She twisted the weapon free with one clean motion and placed herself between Marcus and the soldier. The soldier looked at her, looked at Marcus, looked at his 3 unconscious teammates. Then he ran, straight back up through the valley exit, into the fog. Gone, Marcus breathed. He breathed for a long time. Then he picked up the fallen soldier's oxygen tank and weapon, real equipment, heavy and solid in his hands. He looked at Vale. She had a deep cut along her shoulder, and she was holding it with one hand. Marcus crossed to her without thinking. He took the flat cooling leaf from her bag and pressed it against her shoulder, the way she had done for him earlier. She looked at him with something like surprise. "Humans are strange," she said. Marcus actually laughed. It came out rough and short, but it was real. First time he had laughed since before the crash. "We try," he said. The laugh faded. The escaped soldier was reporting back to the ship right now. In minutes, there would be more coming. Then Vale's wrist device beeped. She looked at it, and her expression shifted. "Marcus," she said slowly. "What?" "My scanner is showing something near the north end of the valley," she said. "Something I did not know was there." "What is it?" She looked up at him. "An escape pod," she said. "Small, 1 seat." The valley went very quiet. 1 seat. Marcus and Vale looked at each other. Neither of them spoke.